Hello everyone, I'm going to be showing you and walking you through section 7.3, similar triangles. Similar triangles, AA similarity. So the AA similarity is key in this because when you do the AA similarity, it's kind of like side, 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 angle, side. Once you know two things have the same side, you can now, at that point, you're set. So I'm going to show you this example here. And the example is going to be up in the top left over here, AB, BC. So in a typical problem, if you were ever given, if this ever says 30 and 70, 30 and 70, you know, because of this rule, the new rule, angle, angle, two angles are congruent and the two triangles are congruent, you know that these triangles are going to be congruent. And actually, I wrote the triangles wrong. I had to kind of refix it, but those are the correct ways for this example. Another way of writing it is an angle and an angle are congruent on this one, and an angle and an angle are congruent on this one. On the next triangle, it's 130. On this one, 160. Are these two congruent based on angle, angle? And the correct answer is you got to check. Once you check, you find out that are there two angles that are the same in either of these? The answer is no. They are not. This one's a no. And then I brought this problem down and I said, look, typically you get a rhombus and a rhombus and you just set up your proportions and you solve. But on this one, you can't just simply solve it. On this one, I recommend you redraw. If you redraw this second triangle, because these are two triangles connected. So I recommend you redraw. If you redraw, when you do this, don't ever let this happen. Never make sure your proportion never has an x and a y in the equation, because you can't really solve that. When you do solve the equation, you want to make sure that you only do the x at one time and the y at one time. And when you do that, you will get x equals 1 and y equals 17. Step one, I want you to always rewrite the problem or redraw it. Second, create your own proportion. Make sure x and y, you make sure you never have x and y in the same proportion. Make sure they never, ever, ever have x and the y. Don't create a proportion with x and y together. Next, this is the super hardest problem you're going to get because everyone forgets. These are two triangles here, and you should redraw the triangles. So you redraw the little triangle up here, and then that's a big triangle, KVM. And when you redraw them now, since they're redrawn, now you can start to solve. You can find KV, 10.8, or you can now solve by setting up this side over 24 and x over 16. And when you set that up and cross multiply and divide, you end up with x equals 16. And the long side over here becomes 27.